Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning.
It's the award-winning In Wheel Time car
Central.
talk show. Just ahead, our story of the week. Didn't we already do that?
Yeah, we did.
Turn the page. Welcome to the award-winning In Wheel Time car talk show. Hit him in the head. Just ahead, part 2 of our visit with Mary Agruza at the Savoy Museum. I'll also give you my thoughts on driving the 2025 Chrysler Pacifica. Yeah, it's a minivan, but it doesn't act like one. And Jeff has the Motor Minute in this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars down there. We always need more Jeff Zekin over here. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join.
What he said. Spit it out.
Oh, my God. It was one too many margaritas last night. I apologize. But I start my vacation today, so you know what? You're just going to have to live with it.
You're going vacationing.
I know. Well, I'm going to take a little vacation.
It's a road trip.
3-hour road trip.
Yeah.
Go for it.
3-hour tour.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So now that I've completely blown this intro,
You lost your place again?
you know, I was over here turning all these pages, and I forgot to turn that page.
Oh, you go,
And the only
Bob
difference
Seger.
between that page and this page is A and B. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And the date.
Good thing we didn't throw
Well,
a number in there.
Yeah.
If we threw a number in there, they'd really mess them up.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
3.
7. That's it.
Squirrel.
You know, it isn't often that we bring back a guest from the first hour to the second hour. But believe it or not, we've been watching, and she has been hanging on for the entire 45 minutes it's taken to get back to her, because we are going to revisit the Savoy Automobile Museum.
She's more dedicated to the show than we are.
Than we are, and knows more about it now than I do, clearly. God. It's Mary Agruza with the Savoy Automobile Museum in the bustling metropolis of Cartersville, Georgia, between Atlanta and Chattanooga.
There we go.
Absolutely. That's where we are.
You know, somebody had an argument. It's not Chattanooga. Okay. Then what is it? It's Chattanooga. I don't know of anybody that pronounces it like that the way that you do, ma'am. You pronounce it your way. I'll pronounce it my way. My mother was from the South, from Birmingham, Alabama, and it was always Chattanooga.
That's the only way I've ever heard it.
Yeah, but this woman
But
was
what do I know?
insistent.
I'm not a
I was
Southerner.
born and raised in Chattanooga. Okay.
Good for you.
I like it.
That gives you 10 gold stars.
That's it, exactly. So,
So
Mary,
anyway, we got the technology working. The gimbal seems to be
Yay.
happy, so the video will be a lot better this time.
okay, well, that's
There
great.
was
It
nothing wrong with it before.
I was going to say,
there was
it's
nothing wrong with
perfectly
it.
fine. So,
So,
last
I'm
hour,
sitting in-
we talked about barn finds. That's part of your museum. And then we went on
Yeah.
and talked about glass cars, fiberglass cars. So what are you going to show us this time?
Well, I'm going to flip the camera around, and you're going to get to see some Studebakers.
Studebakers.
These are Studebakers. About half the cars in here that you're going to see, we own. The other half, with the exception of one, came from the Studebaker Museum. This is one of their cars. This is a 1927 President Lincoln. And I hope I can get close enough down there on the wheel well. If you look really closely, you're going to see like what looks like a white strip of cloth.
Yeah, we see it.
That's the shock absorber system. It's like the Hartford shocks that were on the SS1. You dial it so you can change it depending on what your road conditions are. And so this is the oldest one that we have, 1927. From there on, we have cars from every decade going up until the very end, which was the Lark and the Avanti. The Lark, and the Avanti, nice car.
Tell us how you really
One thing
feel.
to notice on this, I hope you can see it, is this has a curved glass partition between
Oh,
the
yeah, you
driver.
can see it.
Yeah, and curved glass back in the 20s, that was a big deal. Now, I'm not sure if your listeners are aware of the fact that Abraham Lincoln probably knew about a Studebaker, probably even drove one.
Really?
That's because Studebaker, before they ever made cars, they wound up being the largest manufacturer worldwide of wooden wagons.
Carriages,
They
yeah.
built the Conestoga wagons that took everybody out west.
I had no
That was
clue
their-
about that.
No.
That was their core business. And then that was when the original brothers started the company. By the time the second generation came along, that is when cars were starting to come in. And so the son of one of the founders, the son-in-law of one of the founders, convinced their board of directors that they needed to go into building cars. And so they started out with electric cars. And Thomas Edison owned one of theirs, drove it for 23 years at his home in Florida. So it finally, I guess the battery finally died or whatever. He couldn't recycle the batteries or whatever. They did a couple partnerships with a couple other companies, and then they went out on their own. And the goal was to be just like Ford. Unfortunately, they never got that big as Ford. One of the mistakes they made, and this car right here is a Rockney. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. This was sort of like what Toyota and Lexus is, where Toyota owns Lexus, but they spun off another brand. Well, that's what they did with the Rockney. And they had a lot of their cars were sort of like Packard in the upper end. They really didn't dabble in low price cars. They tried one which was called the Erskine, but they really weren't into it. They didn't support it. Well, they were having trouble making ends meet. And so there were two gentlemen that had designed a car for Willis, took it to Willis. Willis couldn't afford it. They just didn't have the money. And so on a whim, one of the guys was on vacation. He took the prototype down to Studebaker. Studebaker loved it, hired the guys on the spot, bought the design on the spot, and they spun off a company called Rockney.
As in Newt Rockney.
That is a Newt Rockney. He actually worked for them at one point.
Oh, my God, I didn't know.
When he was done coaching, he traveled around and was like a motivational speaker when they did sales meetings. Well, this was their answer to a low-price car. And the good news was it was wildly successful. Within 8 months of being launched, it was the 8th most popular selling car in the United States.
Wow.
The bad news was in 1933, Studebaker went into receivership because they were in bad shape from the Depression. When they came out 2 years later, the Rockney was gone. And so they dabbled with that little lower price line. It didn't work. I mean, it worked, but because of their finances, it didn't last. And when they came back out of receivership, the Rockney name was gone. And unfortunately, Newt died in 1931. He never got to see the car with his name on it. Now, this one is sort of an interesting story. This is the 48 Starliner Coupe. We've referred to this as the coming and going car, because if you look at the front and you look at the back, it's kind of hard to tell the difference. And the interesting thing for Studebaker, during the war, the big three had this gentleman's agreement that there would be no design work going. Now look at the back of this car. Got the huge wraparound window,
Yes,
and people said it's hard to tell if the car is coming or going.
My brother had a hand-me-down, and it was drab green because nobody ever washed it to the point where, it would or put wax on it. And I asked him before he died, I said, "Whatever happened to that car?" He says, "Oh, I didn't tell you?" I said, "No." He said some truck came along, hit the back end of it, pushed the back bumper up to right behind the front seat, and that was the end of the car. I thought, oh my, what a fitting end to that car. I was never a fan of that. I thought it was as ugly as the day is long, but that's just me.
Well, now, one thing that's interesting about them, because the big three couldn't run their design studios, Studebaker didn't have a design studio. They had Raymond Loewy. So they had no gentleman's agreement. So when the war ended, the big three had to crank out the old stuff that they had. Raymond Loewy had new designs, and this was one of them. And so they called this the first by far of the post-war car. And people loved it because it was different. Now, there's a trick that they had here that they used again. Back before this time, they had what they call the slab side. The side of the car was flat. And yet, here they have a bumped-out back fender. Now, Studebaker could not afford to go ahead and redo the whole body, so this is bolted on.
Wow.
So, in other words, you could actually tub that car out very, very easily by taking the fenders off.
I was thinking
Well,
the same thing.
you
And put a bigger, deeper fender on it. I mean, it would be nothing.
No,
to
it
it.
would be a truck.
You take truck fenders and bolt them on there.
That's it. Sorry, Mary.
Okay, so now going to the 50s, and the big thing is the fins, and they have, what do? You have a car, and so you do the next best thing. This is a Golden Hawk, and I hope I can find it because this fin right there is bolted on. They simply took what they had The original time they did it out of fiberglass. After that, because it worked, they made it out of steel, and they just bolted a fin on the back of the car. So it kind of looks like a 57 Chevy. Not quite exactly, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
Great car. I mean, this is like the first American muscle car.
I was going to say, because that thing was fast. My good friend Puss Wilson's brother had a car, that car. And we all made fun of it, but it beat all the cars on the street. And the other thing about it was very interesting. It's so low to the ground, it would not go over a beer can.
Well, this had a supercharged engine.
Yes.
They called it the family sports car. But you know what the one option is that you had to buy with this? Turn signals. It did not come stock with turn signals.
That's where you use your arm out the window. We all learned that in driver's ed.
Yes, well, back in the day we did.
Thank you, Mary, for pointing that out.
Well, no, I think if you stuck your hand out the window today, nobody would know what you were talking about.
No, you'd probably get shot thinking that you were flipping them off or
It's called
something.
road
Exactly.
rage. It's road rage.
Probably so. Now, this is my absolutely least favorite car of all the Studebakers. This is the beloved Lark. They fired Raymond Loewy because they told him he was too European. He is not responsible for this. And I look at this and it says, okay, are they trying to mimic, the Mercedes look? It just didn't work very well. It doesn't look like anything else. It's sort of boxy and ugly. But all things considered, it didn't sell too bad, except they came up with this Jeep version of it that had a retracting roof that leaked. And because they couldn't redo the stamping, well, they tried all kinds of crazy things to fix it. So this is not my favorite car. Every time I think of this car, it reminds me of the Lark cigarette commercial where the people were on the back of the truck and they would say, "Show us your Lark," and people would pull out the pack of cigarettes. And then Saturday Night Live did the joke about "Show us your gun," and they did the whole spoof on that. But this car to me was just ugly. Now, my favorite story of this is in 1962, Studebaker somehow got the Indianapolis 500 to let the Studebaker convertible be the pace car.
No.
Of course, the thing is, whoever wins the race gets the pace car. And so Roger Ford is the winner, and he's going to be given a Lark convertible. I'm sorry. That's the booby prize.
The booby prize.
Fortunately, that's not what he got. What he got was one of these, because the Avanti came out.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
I remember it. Yeah.
His, I think, was custom done orange and yellow, but he got the Avanti. And this is a Raymond Loewy creation. So they didn't want him. They bring him back. This is an absolutely gorgeous car. Doesn't look like anything that we were putting out in the 60s. Beautiful, beautiful design. But unfortunately, Studebaker is like really going downhill financially fast. One of the reasons that this car did not sell as well as it could was because people were really skeptical the company was going to stay in business. They had closed their California plant. They had closed the plant up in South Bend. They were down to one plant in Canada. And do you really want to buy a car from a company that you're not sure that they're going to be around a whole lot longer?
Exactly.
And so the Avanti never really did sell. Also, it was for such a niche market. This was like a Corvette niche that they were going for, and they needed something that was going to have broad mass appeal. This wasn't the car. So sometimes Studemaker made a lot of really dumb decisions financially, but the Avanti, absolutely beautiful. So I'm trying to look at my clock to see if we're going to take a real quick look to see if the street rods have come in.
Let's do
They're
that.
starting to arrive. And so we're going to zip out one of the back doors here. You'll get to see the back of the theater. But we'll take a run out there because they
You have a
should be
theater
arriving.
there, too?
Oh, yeah. In fact, let me do this real quick. I'll take you into the theater. You can get to see what it looks like because they're going to be doing a presentation, and then we'll work our way out the back and try to get outside. So
This place is huge. How many square feet do you have there?
I think the building is a little over 60,000.
Wow.
But Mary,
And then that's just the main proper here in the museum. Then we also have a big storage building outside. We also have a big pavilion that has picnic tables in it. So yeah, they will have an award ceremony in here.
We could have Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes play in there.
hey, we're going to be having James Brown's cars here in March.
And do you have any
Collection.
James Brown imitators that could come and do the ow?
What? Okay, so this is the largest curved screen in the Southeast.
Step on a nail, you do that.
I forget how many monitors there's. And so last night we had movie night. We have a presentation even going on, a second presentation going on tonight. But this is the theater.
This is absolutely beautiful. I think that what you need to have is the I Feel Good show down there. For James Brown, you know?
Hey, Mary.
Well,
so some of the movies.
What we're going to do is in January is we're going to have an exhibit called Cartoons, and that's going to be all cars that were tied into music. James Brown comes in March, but once they bring in the cartoons, I'll do the rock and roll tour on the weekends.
I love that. And you're going to dance with the husband or whoever there at the museum.
He doesn't dance.
Huh?
He doesn't dance. He's not a dancer.
Well, you can find somebody there.
Mary,
Oh, well, we're thinking about doing a dance here.
Mary, are any of these cars for sale?
That are in the museum?
Yes.
No.
None of the private collections?
In our collection, no. One of the fiberglass cars, for things that come in that we don't own, sometimes they are, like one of the fiberglass cars. Oh, everybody, I think we got some people starting to arrive.
Don't let the door close behind you, Mary. You'll never get back in.
Oh, I got the magic pass. I can get in.
All right.
So just give you an idea, this is our parking lot. Building over here that you're going to be seeing is the pavilion.
You've got cars on display out there, too.
Well, because everybody's coming to see the street rods. I mean, this place is jammed because they all know the street rods are going to be coming. So it looks like we're already starting to get some of them. Give you an idea here, the building over there, that's where we keep our collection. And we've got about 140 cars altogether. In fact, sitting in there right now is Augie Duesenberg's personal Duesenberg that just came in from the IMS Museum, because we will have a Duesenberg exhibit going in August.
That is awesome. Mary, I can't tell you how much we thank you and appreciate you and the Savoy Automobile Museum and all of the things you got going on there in Cartersville, Georgia. And I think it's Savoy. What's the website?
SavoyMuseum.org.
SAVOY Museum.org. Mary Agruza, we certainly appreciate your time and thank you so much for the beautiful tour that you've done on 2 segments today. We won't forget it. And
look at some other Corvettes out there.
Yeah.
So
well, thank you for having us. We're just always glad to come and share the museum with you. And hey, when you're ready, I see your Rolls Royce just pulled in.
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Tell me you were here already. You snuck in on me.
All right. Well, we'll be checking in on you throughout the year. So take care, Mary. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Incredible.
Yep.
Yeah. What I was going to say, the theater, they have movie nights like Corvette Summer. Things like
God,
that.
What
that
a
they
terrible
show.
movie. Did you ever see that movie?
Yes, I did. But still, if you want car movies, I mean, sometimes you got to reach.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go ahead and do that.
That's reach around is what that is.
He said it.
Yes, he did.
I didn't say it. All right, just ahead, a review of the 2025 Chrysler Pacifica and Jeff's Motor Minute after a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. Apple or Android, In Wheel Time podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give In Wheel Time a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on In Wheel Time. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists.
Isn't that the truth?
Yep.
All right. Summer heat has us hiding inside the Sugar Shack studios for a while. So we invite you to join. Can you imagine being outside this afternoon? Humidity 100%, temperature 95 degrees. I'm good in here.
Do you imagine if there was a foot of snow on the ground right now outside, shoveling that snow in this heat would be terrible.
I'll volunteer for that. Okay, so
I had to think about it.
I'll always invite you to join us on our live In Wheel Time every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time on InWheelTime.com, YouTube, and Facebook. Time now for the Motor Minute, Jeffrey.
Okay, here's what I got. Now, you're talking about Florida and dealerships, how they're kind of corrupt down there in Florida. Some of them are. Well, this comes from Florida as well. Florida is attempting to crack down on problem drivers exceeding the speed limit, performing stunts behind the wheel. House Bill 351 is called the Dangerous Excessive Speeding Law. Became law on midnight July 1st. A law which imposes higher penalties for drivers exceeding the speed limit by 50 miles an hour or hitting at least 100 was put to the test a few minutes after the law went into effect. Running 104 miles per hour in a 70 zone, classified as a super speeder, which that name came to be because a child was killed in a speed crash. A Buick Envision hits triple digits as the first one to break the law, according to body cam released by the Orange County Sheriff. An unnamed driver in Orange County was caught doing 104 miles an hour in a 24 or 25 Buick Envision. That's my car. So the driver was informed of the new law. He was arrested. He's going to face a fine, 30 days in jail, all that good stuff. That because you broke the law, traffic stops have been released at this time. The Orange County Sheriff says that since the beginning of the year, has stopped over 100 people doing over 100 miles an hour.
Join me on the South Sam Houston Tollway anytime. And I can guarantee you there will be at least one that'll blow by me doing at least 100 miles an hour.
I've been to Florida. We've all been to Florida. It's not really a fast-paced state, in my opinion.
No, but you've got those scoff laws.
Yeah, all that. And then you've got people that buy Buick Envisions. They just want to, exercise them and get them out there.
You sure are nuts. All right. Time now for this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the 2025 Chrysler Pacifica. Yes, it's a minivan, if you want to call it that. There's nothing really mini about it anymore. Final assembly location, Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Available trim levels of the Pacifica, the Select PHEV, which stands for Plug-in Hybrid Electric Vehicle. Limited, the FAV edition, or FAV edition, however you'd like to pronounce FAV edition, and it says it on the side of it. They also have it in the PHEV. The premium FAV appearance PHEV, and the Pinnacle and Pinnacle PHEV. I had the limited all-wheel drive. It's a minivan. Seats 7. Redesigned in 2017, so yeah, it's getting a little long in the tooth, but it still works, Exterior features, car-like front fascia with laid-back aero windshield, sweeping roofline that kind of dips down in the back just a touch. You can see it there with the blacked-out B and C pillars. Slide-open passenger doors, handy for backseat passengers and parking lots. Huge, easy opening lift gate in the back end. But I liked the best-looking minivan despite its age. I truly believe that. Look at it. Looks good, don't you think?
I liked it when I was
Particularly like the white model.
Yeah.
I do too. The black wheels and the black grille looks good. What could use improvement? I put a question mark because I don't know. Interior highlights. Seating surfaces, kid-proof, yet comfortable. Infotainment screen is small by comparison to other screens these days, but it's built in between the air vents. I like that a lot. Lots of cubbies, add storage nooks for tons of stuff throughout the cabin. Top-notch Pinnacle trim has uber luxe upholstery. And boy, I'll tell you what, I mean it, seriously. They went to the upholstery shop and say, goose it up, and they did. Storage room, like a concert venue. What I liked about it, the dual sunroof panels for kids and stow-and-go seating. So the kids can enjoy the sunroof too. Not now because it's a little too warm here in Texas, but it works for all the kids. What could use improvement? How about a bigger infotainment screen? Use it as an option. I don't know what their plans are for the Pacifica. It's the only vehicle actually right now that Chrysler builds. It comes with the venerable 3.6-liter V6 engine, has 287 horsepower. They've been building the thing forever. 262 pound-feet of torque. 9-speed automatic transmission with a tow rating of 3,600 pounds. It gets 17 miles per gallon in the city, 25 on the highway for a combined of 20. I got 21.3 miles per gallon over 370 miles. What I like about it, the engine, adequate power for a people hauler. What could use improvement? Maybe an optional engine, maybe a Turbo 4. Do they have an electric version of it in the works? I don't know. We haven't heard a lot about Chrysler lately, but I have a feeling that that name is going to reappear on people's radar, and they're going to be coming out with more stuff here in the not-too-distant future. Ride and handling, nice. What could use improvement? Nothing. Leave the ride and handling alone. Base trim price, $52,565. Price is tested, $59,165, and it's not the Pinnacle version, which is even more than that. But you can get into one of these for the low sale price of $42,450.
I mean, when you figure for what you're getting for basically a family vehicle that will haul the whole family.
Let me tell you something. That stow-and-go seating system
That was amazing.
is something to see how it works. And when the seats are up, so the whole thing, it tumbles down into the floor.
Yeah.
Put a lid over the top of it that comes with it, obviously, and it's all flat back there.
Yep.
Don't even know that there's seats involved.
Yeah.
Then you put the seats up. Where the seats were in the floor now becomes storage. So you want to take a big trip? You want to take the Christmas presents to Aunt Mary with the 10 kids? There you go.
Well, I was thinking of something like you're going on vacation, you're taking a road trip, having that, and then you put the stow seats down, and you get one of those air pumps and blow up a little air mattress, and you can spend the night in there on a lake or something.
True.
You
put the beer in the below floor storage,
Yeah.
or wine, as in your case.
Yeah.
They probably even have those with little plugs in the bottom, so they drain
it
out.
Absolutely.
There you go.
See, this is the reason that you watch Envision this show. It is. Because of all of the wonderful things that we come up for.
It was for guests like Mary, and then our next guest coming up. That's why they watch.
Exactly.
Here you go.
All right. Coming up, we got another segment. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We are back after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative, automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.